digital becomes in today's world, it is very important to use. So combining this physical, digital and human system in the built environment to define a sustainable, prosperous and inclusive future for the citizen, then it becomes smart. So smart city is to have smart people, smart living, smart governance, smart economy, smart mobility and the smart environment. With all these things, you can make a city smart. So before entering, why do you require smart? So why we require? There are some statistics about India. Let us see that the India's area is around 3.287 million square kilometer, and the population, if you look at it, is 1.343 billion. When you look at the China, it is 9.597 million square kilometer, and China's population is 1.410 billion. When you look at the USA, the area is 9.834 million square kilometer, but the USA population is 325 million only. So here, when you look at the statistics, even though the China had a number one population in the world, but its area is quite long. So you can see China, it is distributed. The population is distributed. The area is wide. When you look at the USA, the population is very less when compared to the area. But when you look at the India, the population is very less when compared to the area. So that is why India is becoming a smart city.
Ma'am, the video has got stuck. Participants, please wait. There seems to be a technical error.
Is it okay? Okay, okay. Is it okay now? Sorry,
Yes, miss.
there was
It's
internet.
okay.
That is the internet problem. There is an internet problem. Okay, okay. Is that have you heard about the talk regarding statistics about India? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. From the slide, you can start, ma'am.
Okay. So when you look at the population here, as per India is considered, India's area is quite small when compared to the population. But even though the population of China is very high, the area is also much more in case of China. It is 9.597 million square kilometer. So the population is spread throughout the China. But when you come to US, the population is very less, but the area is more, and hence you don't have that demand for space. But when you come to India, the population is very, very more, and the space requirement is very less. Hence, there is a very high demand for space for doing the infrastructure. And coming to the other important scenario of rural and urban scenario, where you can see in urban everything is being fetched common. For example, water supply, you can open your tap, you get your water. If you go to your entire toilets and kitchen waste are connected with the sewage. You have a common sewage system, and you have a common water supply system. You have roads, you have good roads, you have a big houses. So you have all types of infrastructure flowing in urban. But when you look at the rural, it is everything is of common. For example, if you want to have water supply, you go to a well or a pond or a river to fetch a water. But in case of urban, you just open. That is the infrastructure availability, common infrastructure availability in urban scenario is much, much higher than the rural scenario. So people always try to move towards the urban scenario. So there is always a very big migration from the rural to the urban, which also once again give more pressure on the urban area, where the area becomes very less and the population in the urban is very, very high. And if at all, if you are providing any infrastructure, you have to provide it to a very large number of people in a very small space. So this is a very big challenge as per the Indian condition is considered. But in order to face this challenge, it is very, very important that you have to think smart. So in almost throughout the world, the even and you can also always think that the rural which is also currently converting into urban as such on its own, by giving more infrastructure to it. So it is not that the people migration to the urban, it is also the upgradation of rural to urban is also happening. So you can see a rural place which was 10 years before a village now has become a bigger town. So likewise, the upgradation is also happening. Hence, it is very, very important to think smart in case of making supporting the people with all types of infrastructure. So these are all some of the statistics with respect to water supply, sewage, solid waste, private transportation, rail-based mass transit, and affordable housing, where the demand is basic service demand is very, very high when compared to supply. We have a very less amount of supply of water supply, sewage, solid, but the demand is keep on increasing, and demand will all in future also it will be increased. So this for which we have also have to design our infrastructure to be very smart. So the objective of Smart Mission City Mission is to promote the city that provides the core infrastructure and give a decent quality life to its citizen, and a clean and sustainable environment, and the application of a smart solution. So whenever you want to provide a core infrastructure in order to make a sustainable life, you have to make sure a solution is very smart, and this solution has to be is an inclusive development and for to focus on the sustainability. So there are two types of smart city mission. How you can make a city smart? See, already the city has developed. Already the city has grown up to a very large extent. In that case, we have to, if it is an open area or a new area where the city has to be developed, then you can develop it by creating a new space, new applications, and all. That is one type of thing. Another type is developing already developed area into step by step. And the another one is I will not be trying to do the entire city smart, but any one infrastructure, I will make it smart. For example, in a commercial hub where I try to find out more amount of traffic, then I make the smart transportation alone to be applicable for that particular area. In an area where there is a educational institutions are there, more number of institution at a particular area, then I can make digital learning, digital language. So all these to be applicable in almost, for example, if you go to the Oxford University, the entire Oxford place, you can sit anywhere, you can listen to your class, you can upload at any point of time. So it is not necessary that you have to go physical to the classroom. That is making one particular infrastructure alone is called as Pan City Initiative. That is only one smart solution you provided, you apply it for the entire area. That is Pan City. But developing the area itself, I want everything to be smart. For example, water supply, sewage, road infrastructure, security, whatever I think I have to make the Chennai, I want to make the entire Chennai to be smart in terms of all infrastructure. Then I have to go with the three important types of steps. One is retrofitting, redevelopment, and greenfield. Retrofitting is the area will be very small, for around some 500, that is sorry, the development of existing building area around to 500 acres, it is called retrofitting. Redevelopment is replace the existing built environment in a area more than 50 acres, you got it as a redevelopment. Greenfield is it is totally new, there is no development at all. Now I am going to create a sign. For example, the Gifted City Gujarat. In Gifted City Gujarat is the first smart city that has been developed by the Gujarat administration, where the entire gift city was developed at a place where you don't have, it is 25 kilometers away from Ahmedabad, where there is no other previous development. Entirely new development is being done there in a vacant area. So that is called greenfield. So it is around, you can make either one infrastructure as a smart, or you can make the entire area to be the smart. So that is Span City Initiative or develop area step by step. So the smart city features are, you we can promote a mixed land use in a base development. For example, you can have at the lower ground, you can have commercial, at the first floor and second floor level you can have institutional, and the third and fourth level you can have the residential. Creating a walkable localities to reduce congestion, air pollution, and resource depletion, boost the local economy, promote the interaction, and ensure the security. So today you would have seen many smart city in this type of corona period, where the people are working, everybody is working from home, working from, so it you use very less amount of transport, so you reduce congestion. And this is possible because of the digital effect we have. So digital is something which has been which has been now implemented in entire educational system because of this pandemic situation. And with this, because of this, you reduce the congestion traffic, and because of the reducing the congestion of traffic, you have the your air is cleaned, there is no pollution in your air, and you don't, for example, we have seen the petrol and diesels, the usage of petrols and diesels were very less. And once again, it boosts the local economy. People try to use whatever they can able to get it on the local, they can get it from the nearby side. Otherwise, what people will do, no, they will take a vehicle and go to far away place to buy their groceries or something. So it is boost the local economy and promote the interaction and ensures the security. So you now you feel everything to be secured, you do all your work right sitting at your home, and you know what is happening around the world, everything. So it promotes interaction as well as ensures security. So provide, and other another important smart city features is it promoting the variety of transport option, that is transit oriented development, public transport, and para transport connectivity. So this is also is happening, where you can happen when even in the transport side there is a large amount of smart city features has been taken. And governance, see, today everything is being done with a mobile. So you can see that if at all, if there is, your area is not clean, you can just go to your Google app and type your area place and find out your municipality. You can complain it on online. right? So it is the governance, you make it cost effective, transparency by using your mobiles and without getting into directly going in contact with the municipal office. And you also provide a large amount of smart solution to the infrastructures, services and area based development in order to make them better. For example, making area less vulnerable to disasters. So people have been informed with previously that forecasting and all the forecasts regarding the rain, cyclone, or whatever the prediction that has been taken, it has been given to the public immediately in order to reduce the vulnerable, using the fewer resources and providing the cheaper service. So what are some of the pan city smart solution? We have a pan city smart solution in each and every infrastructures. So for example, in e-governance or a citizen service, you do public information, grievance redressal, electronic service delivery, citizen engagement, citizen city eyes and ears. So your camera, which has been fitted throughout the cities, it is called a city eyes, and fitted with the sensor, you hear what the people speak near that camera. So it is becomes the city eyes and ears. Video crime monitoring, so people nowadays, the police, you would have seen in many newspaper, almost many investigation has been carried out by using the video footage that has been taken in that place. So people immediately trace the crime people, and then they try to monitor them. If at all, if there is any crime is happening, they also the police personnel monitor through the video surveillance. Coming to the waste management, you can see today the waste is not more is said to be waste. It is the it is once again, it is a usable, reusable material. So waste to energy, waste to fuel, waste to wealth, waste to compost, waste water to be treated, recycling and reduction. So these are some of the solution that can be taken in the waste management. Coming to the water management, the people nowadays use smart meters. You can identify the leakages by using sensors fitted in the various distribution pipeline, and you can prevent the maintenance can be done properly. The prevention of any leakages also can be done. Water quality monitoring. See, you can see what is the pH level of your water, what is the BOD, COD level of your water, what is the water you are drinking, whether it is pure or not. So all these things you can able to manage by making your infrastructure, water management infrastructure, which utilize the smart sensors. In energy management, people use smart meters and management, renewable resources of energy, energy efficient and green buildings. Coming to your urban mobility, smart parking, intelligent traffic management, integrated multimodal transport can be used. And these are some of the smart solution. And coming today's, the most important is telemedicine, teleeducation, incubation triad facility centers, skill development centers. So these are all the other smart pan city smart solutions. So in pan city, you can either take e-governance for a particular area and try everything to work with the digital, or you can take water management or waste management. You can take transport alone to be smart. You can do the energy management alone to be smart in that area. So you can choose any one of these infrastructure, and you can apply to that area. So 6 key elements to be created as a part of smart. So in order to make a city smart, there are certain things which is very, very important to be done to make it. That is what we say, that these are the key elements which is required for the making a particular smart infrastructure. The one is smart city operation center. You should have a control command center at which controls and commands the entire smart infrastructure of your city. You should have a very good Wi-Fi condition. Environmental sensors are required. You require a PA system for announcement. You require the emergency box setup for getting the input data, and you should also have a variable messaging system where you can broadcast or informative messages and give alerts to the city object. So these are the 6 important elements that is required, which is smart city operations center. We call it as a command control center, Wi-Fi spots, environmental sensor, PA system, emergency box, variable messaging. So come to let us see some of the smart city, smart pan city initiative. For example, if I want to create an emergency response system, there is some accident happening. There is a flood related flood is going to cross the bridge portion. So there is a heavy flood coming in and it is going to cross the bridge portion. There is a heavy traffic happening in a particular area, or there may be a temperature, the pollution level is getting high. For example, in Delhi and all, during the month of January or February, they will have a very huge large amount of air pollution, fog, mist formation. So people were requested not to come out of the houses, open even their doors and windows. So this can be done, this can be predicted, and this can be done by the environmental sensor, and this will be immediately given to the people through the variable messaging text method, and then immediately the people also will try to stay back at home. So these are some of the, you can see here, these are some of the sensors which are used for emergency response system: the environmental sensor, the flood detection sensor, your traffic sensor, your CCTV camera, in order to identifying any emergency. For example, if there is any accident happened, if there is a footage coverage, then immediately that particular sensor attached to it itself will respond to the to your ambulance, and make and give the information to the ambulance, and make the ambulance, which is at a very near spot, to come. And other like if you are not properly used during your waste bin and all, you will get an alert system. So these are called the input sensors for the emergency system, which you have a common application. You do a data management or a device management according to it, and finally you give it as an output. You give it either as an SMS, or you give it as a data, or you can also do it as a video images. So these are, you require to have some input, you do some control command, and after that you get an output. So this is what in the smart system, in smart infrastructure, which is very, very important for you to do it. For example, here you can see that when once the sensor is identified, it will taken care by either police or a PMC care or disaster management. Then immediately it will go to the message display, your PA system and the emergency box to announce. And then certain things after once completed, or during the live session itself, it will be given to the social media, website, and finally it will be given to SMS or email through the various app layer. Coming to the smart traffic management system, so in smart traffic management system, the various highlights are, you have a license plate number detection. So which is very important. Suppose a particular vehicle crossing the signal, deviating the signal, there will be a sensor fitted to the signal, which will take the photo of that number plate. So it will immediately, that sensor will detect who is the owner of the vehicle, where is the address, and all those information, and then immediately send a message to a particular person who is detecting. So you can have a license plates and a plate number detection, identify the stolen or suspected vehicles. So nowadays you can see that many vehicles which are stolen, once they just because of the footage of the camera, they identify those vehicle. Sometimes they suspect some vehicle, what is there inside, and there are certain sensors which totally identified the goods inside the vehicle. And over a speed detection up to 150 kilometer per hour, this is also happening in many of the places. In India itself, it is happening. When you cross a particular signal, or when you cross a particular road, a sensor detects and tell you you are moving with a speed more than 150 kilometer. integration with Vahanam and RTO. So Vahan, you know that it is an what whenever you buy a vehicle, your vehicle number, your registration, everything has to be related to the regional transport office, and this regional transport office will give you the entire information, will get you. So there should be a link between your Vahan and the RTO system, which is being integrated during the purchase of your vehicle itself. This is done by because of the smart traffic management and integration with the smart city platform. So you require to have the entire movement of vehicle, where it is moving, where it is going, and identify those vehicle, and whether there is more vehicle coming to a particular road. So is there required or necessary for the change in the signals. Everything you can manage it in case of smart management system. So it is ATCC is the advanced, you can see advanced traffic control system, where you have a thermal technology, non-intrusive technology, detection up to 4 lanes and camera. So you require to find out what is coming in all the 4 lane, and you are highly reliable and scalable. There is no wear and tear of these sensor integrated with the smart city platform. So these are some of the smart benefit what it happens. So you take an input in terms of camera, you take an input in terms of advanced traffic controller system, you could take input in terms of the smart sensor or in a dynamic message display. You once again do the your comments area, and then finally you give it out as messages, or on the screen you can display and see, or it can be given to the public. So the various benefits because of it is you reduce the peak hour congestion, you enhance the traffic planning, the safety and air quality is enhanced, the traffic updates to the citizen and coordinate the management has been done. Smart tracking management system, this is also happening today. And if you go to your municipality, like I think last time one of my students have done this smart tracking management system. What she did is she fit a sensor in the dustbin, right from the dustbin. And so what happened, once the dustbin is filled up, it will give an intimation to the municipal office that this in this particular road, this particular number of dustbin is filled, and immediately from the municipal office it will give the message to the lorry drivers or the truck drivers who would like to go for that particular route, and say that who is the nearest in that route. It will give information and the spot details in order to clear that waste dustbin. So all these information are done digitally without any manual intervention there. So the sensor identifies there is a filling in the dustbin. Immediately it goes to the municipality, find out who is the nearest by using the GIS technology. Who it find out where is the nearest truck available, and from that truck it gives the information to the driver to go and pick it up, and then it is solved. So entire thing is being done digitally. So here you can see this can be done for any tracking also. You can track any type of vehicle like ambulance, you can track your fire service, you can track your buses, anything you can track. So it is AVL tracking and scheduling can be done, and the incident management, harsh braking, route violation, speed violation, or a panic button can be done. And the report analysis, you can take the entire report analysis, how many vehicle has been violated today, how many vehicles have gone for overspeed, all those analysis you can take it directly from your server. And you over the air upgrades, integrate data collection and analysis can be done, integrated with the common payment card, mobile app facilities are available nowadays. So you pay everything in terms of payment, you pay fine in terms of card. So once the message is sent to the people, then the people have to immediately pay the fine using the digital card, all those things. So it also gives the various benefits, comfortable and reliable, increased accountability, and better fleet management, enhance the scheduling and planning, information accuracy, enhance the security, and highly automated. Coming to the smart parking management system, this you would have experienced on your own when you go to the various malls. So when you go to the very big malls and all, when before getting into the mall, you will be given that you were asked to go for the A2, that is the A block second floor, or C block third floor. Likewise, so you have been given a particular place. So your parking space, once you enter into a parking lot itself, it is fixed. So you don't waste your time finding out the parking lot. You just go to your lot and just park your vehicle. So this can be done. And at the same time, the cost required for the parking is also managed. What is the time of parking when you are trying to move out? So what is the total time of parking time you happened? So you are being cost accordingly. So all this is being done by using the sensor. So the sensor will try the sensor will try to pick out the vehicle and allot a space, and at the same time it will also give all the other information. So it is maximum wireless system, supports all weather condition, fully automated parking areas, real time parking is available, and advanced information and guidance has been done. Integration with the payment gateway allow the audience booking a parking lot at a premium rate, facilitate a regulation of parking tariff and overall strategic city parking policy, integration with the common payment card and the city app. So the various benefit, you get a real-time information available about the parking slot, reduction in congestion, reduce the carbon emission, digital payment to avoid leakages, and the improved citizen performance. Now we will see the area-based development. So till now I have shown, yes, yes. Can you able to hear me? Any queries? Is there any queries? Can I proceed? Okay. Yeah. Now, till now, I have spoken to you regarding the Pan City initiative. Now, I will be speaking to you the entire area-based development master plan. So, how I can make this? See, if you are going for Pan City, I'm going to concentrate only about one particular infrastructure alone, and I am going to try to implement that infrastructure alone to make it digital using the digital knowledge. But when I going for the entire area-based, I would now I have to integrate many infrastructure with a single data unit. That is, the data is one. The population in that area is same. I don't want to repeat that, right, for each and every infrastructure. But the data, that data usage is different for the different. For example, the entire population, the water supply I can design up for it. But in case of traffic, I have to look out into the number of vehicles that has been in that area which has trying to use it. So the area based master plan, the input data is very high, and you require a common platform for which you required all the data to come to that place, and then you give out your output with respect to each and every infrastructure that is required. So there should be a city operation center which entirely controls the entire area of it. So you required some connecting some 6,200 devices. For example, in Greater Visakhapatnam Smart City, they have around some 500 cameras at 83 junctions, and they have some 1 lakh LED street lights and 50 semi-underground bins, which has been fitted with the RFID sensor, 50 public address system, and 10 variable message display, and 50 ECB strategic location, 50 bus stops, and which is have 5 bus terminals, which is completely digital. You know when the bus comes, what type of buses are there, and what is the routes, which route buses are available, everything. 10 RLFID junction points you have, and the 50 modern signaling points you have. You have some disaster management separately, and you will have an integrated water and electricity scales, public Wi-Fi at 50 locals, 50 strategic location, and 24 by 7 call center, and civic issues reporting in terms of bill payment and all. You will do it in terms of digital, paying your EB bill, paying your the other bills, which is like water supply, property tax, everything it is made on digital. And you have to have an e-governance, which has to be done by using the digital data and integrating with the RT technology. So it is for the Visakhapatnam smart city. There is one command operation center which has the centralized data, and these data is being come from the various inputs, various cameras, sensors, and Wi-Fi spots, and finally it is delivered back to the each and every station. So this is the area-based PAN city. So the entire architecture is like this. You required some platform, you required some info, that is, we have 5 sense, right? You have your you speak, you hear, you see, you smell it, and your body is there, that is your touching, your body is there touching. So this 5 sense is also applicable to the digital area. So there are these are the various input which required for the speaking element. So you have a public system, you have an VMD digital display, you have an app which does all the work of speaking to the people, and you can also have certain things to hear. For example, control command center take the input from the web portal, call center, app, or you go for SOS app or something. You look at something and take it. For example, your camera, you an RLBD ID sensor. So all these you look at the information and gather the information. You have the smelling in terms of environmental sensors. These are the sensors which smells what is the pollution level at that particular area. Once you have all done with this with this 4 input which you require for your body also, you take the input through either voice or ears or eyes or a nose, and then finally you put into your body. So your body is your infrastructure. As per city is concerned, you put it in solid waste management or integration, bus transport, city surveillance, or a traffic system, public Wi-Fi, and smart pole. And your nervous system or a blood vessels or a nervous system will act as an integration layer. It takes the data and it goes to each and every point. It goes to lungs, it goes to heart, it goes to your stomach. Similar way, it goes to the data goes to solid waste management or a intelligent transport system or an intelligent traffic system. And finally, your brain is your control command center there. So your control command center, it controls the entire platform, get the data analysis, give all the analysis, give the artificial intelligence, work out with the artificial intelligence, find out a solution for any problem, and gives out the analytics also. So these are the certain things, is a basic architecture you require for any smart city. So in a smart city, you required a cloud sources or IoT, Internet of Things. You require the digital knowledge, you require a neural network, you require an artificial intelligence. These are the various technology that you require for any infrastructure to update. So it is no more that the civil engineer is just a civil engineer thinking of in physical infrastructure alone. It is very important for a civil engineer to enhance his knowledge in case of digital IoT technique also. For example, it is very important for an engineer to know what are the various type of sensor available and how the artificial intelligence work out, what is the cloud computing technology, how you get the data, how you mingle the things with the Internet of Things, how you get the connectivity. So all those things, all the digital element also is very, very important for our for a civil engineer to upgrade his knowledge. At the same time, the IT people or the computer people who have the base of these knowledge require their knowledge to be put it in application part, where the civil engineer plays a major role there. So IT engineer can work out with the artificial intelligence or something like that, but without an infrastructure, without a physical element, so they cannot progress. So it is very important definitely in future that you people will be working along with many IT and computer technology. So it is very important for you also to understand various technology they use it. So as a civil engineer, I would also request all the students to enhance their knowledge in digital based civil engineering also. So coming to this, one of the important multi-utility platform, now I will show you some case studies where they have enhanced the smart city. This is called as a smart pole. When you look at this pole, you can see the various elements are attached to one single pole. There is a telecom antenna which receives the signal for all your mobiles and all. And you can see a street light, which is called an LED light for the energy efficient. You can see a camera here. So the camera is used for it's a Wi-Fi spot. So Wi-Fi spots for a digital city. There is a camera. There are cameras which used for surveillance, and there are some advertisement boards which display or give the message to the people. There is some public address system, PAS system, for connectivity of the city. There are some environmental sensor which has been fitted to this pole in order to find out what is the pollution level, air quality level, all those things. And there is an emergency cell boxes for safety. For example, if there is an accident here, people just come and just press that button and say there is an accident. Immediately the sensor will identify the data, and then it will go to the nearest ambulance and make the ambulance to come to the spot quickly. And so you can see this is a closer view of the smart pole, where you can see environmental sensor is fitted. So it is a real-time pollution monitoring, which gives the temperature, humidity, your lux index, noise level, all those things. So you can monitor the carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, and all those level. And you can also find a real-time dissemination to the citizen. Now, in future, it is scalable for PAN City, extended to the waterlogging sensor, real-time correlation, and open data platform. So the smart poles, here you can see a public address system. So you can have on all the four sides, the public address system, where you deliver a pre-recorded message. You address the people on a whole. So nowadays, today during the Corona period and all, when in a commercial hub, you can see police are just speaking, just taking this public address system and saying they are not to move the people in a close manner. They are asking the people to move, have to maintain social distancing and all. So this is one such technology which is used to operated in a very busy area, broadcast the message to all location or a multiple cast message. So and facilitate the multiple MIS system. The benefit is you can communicate to a large number of people during the disaster or a normal situation, and you can also communicate related traffic pollution data for the announcement. Coming to the smart pole emergency call box, as I told you, this is a two-way audio box. You have a microphone and a speaker. You can also have a live video stream that has been recorded at that particular point, what is happening to the caller. At the same time, you can also have an audio evidence for the audio trails and one press SOS channel. Then this can be fitted in a various strategic location. The benefits are it is very accessible and reliable SOS channel, quick response by the authority, enhance the safety and security, and it also scalable for the PAN city. One small the case study I would like to tell you regarding how it is benefiting, how it is making people benefited in terms of smart technology. For example, there is a one person who is walking on the road. He has been given a dog bite. A dog has bited him. So there are three options for him. Either he can dial directly to the contact center from his mobile, or you can use the SOS mobile app, where you just click an app and say that you are in an emergency situation, or you can call from that emergency call box. if you are very close to on the road, if there is a smart pole, there is an emergency call box, you don't have your mobile at your time, you can click that the emergency call box. Immediately it will connect it to your call talker. The call talker will register your details and complaints, where you are, what happened to you, everything. And immediately, if you are directly with an SOS, it directly goes to the incident manager without even going to the call talker. So incident manager find out what is happening, which particular division, and informs to the control command center. And from the control command center, immediately the details are sent to the veterinary and SO operator. So veterinary and SO operator will send the detail to the chief veterinary officer or a veterinary element. These field officer will send a field staff to the site, and immediately he will check it out, give the first aid to the person, and he will bring the person and to the hospital. He will bring the person to the hospital. He will also bring the dog and find out, check whether the dog has been registered or it is a street dog, or whether the dog has the dog has already given some the injection, it is free from everything, and then everything he will do it. In case of registered dogs, he give penalty to the imposed owner who made this dog let free on the road. If it is unregistered, immediately it is being sent to the animal birth control process to replicate. And in case of a statement, he is being taken to the nearest hospital and to find out, to get into other information. And all these information are happening just immediately a dog bite has happened. The man is still staying there. He is not moving anywhere. You may, with just one click, the other elements are happening at the background, and immediately everything is happened and it's being sent back. So even to this particular, if he is unconscious, if he has sent an SOS, then SOS also will find out from his mobile. From his mobile, he was identified who is that particular person, and they will identify the emergency numbers that can be contacted. So the people also can be contacted. So everything. So this man and the dog is not moving from the place. They are still in the same place, but the other things happening around them, and then immediately the solution is given. So this is a simple case for emergency and incident management. So you can feel now that your city is become smart without anybody helps. Automatically, you will get your solution for that. And this is there is some social initiative also in today in civil engineer. You know that the civil engineers are very important into day-to-day activities, like for example plumber, the electrician, gardener, painters, right? So there are various main activities that is happening. But even though the people are finding it very difficult to find an electrician or a carpenter for the active plumbers or anything, so there is an app which has been created for the social initiative, where they create an app for plumber, electrician. So the people who are in that particular locality can go and just put their profile, dates, everything there, and the people who require the demand can go and press those element and find out who is free, who can able to do their work immediately or next day, something like that. So they can fix everything. They can also fix the driver, carpenter, gardener, air conditioner service, sewage disposal, and they paint home appliances, so pest control. So these are all day-to-day activities which a social initiative app can create, where you can get benefited for both the people, both the side. From the people who are trying to work, they also get benefited, and the people who are needed is also get benefited. Smart education, today we are here. So I am from Chennai. I'm speaking to you in Kerala. So this itself is a very good example in which you can see that everything has become smart. You make it digital. You can make people from any parts of the world to come to your laptop, and you can try to speak. And social initiative today, e-health. So during this pandemic situation, you would have heard many people hesitate to go to hospital for any other things. For example, a small headache or a fever, they try to get medicine rightly from the digital medicine, e-health. They directly speak to the doctor through the appointment video call, and they get their medicine. So telemedicine is also one of the important aspect in case of smart city. And coming to our special area, where as a civil engineer we always look at the roads, right? So creating a street for all. So today you would have seen in a particular street, people walk, people sit and chat, people drive, people park, people also use it. Oh, so it is not only a street. Previously, some 20 years before, if it is street, it is a carriageway. It is only for the movement of vehicle. But today, the roads have changed. If it is a street, it is for the movement of vehicle, movement of your people, and parking of the vehicle. And you also required some the trees. Environmental is very very important in today's scenario. And at the same time, the it also you have to share that space for all other basic elements like your water supply, sewage line, electricity line, and your cable lines. All these also has to be taken care on the street. So all streets need slow zone. So you required in a conventional planning, you provide a service vehicle, automobile traffic, parking, buses, bicycle, and pedestrian. In a completed street planning, you would provide the space for pedestrian, bicycle, bus, service vehicle, automatic traffic, and automobile parking. So here you can see above the street, you can see people are walking, people are sitting and chatting. There is a cycle lane, there is a heavy vehicle lane, there is a car lane, and there is a place for trees, there is a place for street furniture like street lights. And below the street, you can see there is a stormwater drain, there is a sewage line, there is an electricity line. So all these you require to provide a place. So there is an holistic approach is required, which required to have a city backbone network, city Wi-Fi, city surveillance, smart lighting, ICT-enabled solid waste management, smart traffic, smart parking, environmental sensor, city bus intelligent transport system, smart governance. Everything has to be has to be provided in a particular road. So you require all those things to be done, which also you have to below the roads, you provide the basic service like water, drainage, sewage, and the energy network. So various design elements are required: smart smart street furniture and signage, public utilities based on on street parking, smart street poles, median and its beautification, barrier free and uniform footpath and bicycle lanes, road signage, street vending, carriageway, and utility deck. So you can see underground utilities, the utilities on the roadbed, in the roadbed, the utilities adjacent to the roadbed on either side of the roadbed, utilities in an underground corridor. So when you go to the Ahmedabad, the gifted city, you will have the third option where there is an underground tunnel which is running throughout the city, which carries the entire utilities of the city. So you can have that tunnel separately, and this tunnel can be entered in from the various point of that area, that particular gifted city. And normally in our places, you go for option 2, where the utilities are provided on the either side of the roadbed. In some places where you can see the utilities are brightly provided, where on the either side of the road, if there is no space, they provide the utilities below the roadbed. So there are some various advantages and disadvantages in both the cases. In case of in the roadbed itself, you have some disadvantage like repair cost distribution, disruption to all the traffic in case of repair. The advantages, it can be done with a very less amount of space, reduce the construction time and all. Option two is utility adjacent to the roadbed, prevent the closure to the traffic lane during the construction and repair, require a less protection and reduce the need to acquire the land for future expansion. Disadvantage is more space requirement, loss of pedestrian area during the repair. The option 3 is utility in the underground corridor, easy of access for serving, no traffic impact during the maintenance, lower maintenance cost. And disadvantages is significant capital cost, longer construction time, flood measures are required, ventilated shaft and separation of utilities are required. So you can see there is a duct is provided below the road surface, and here you can see there are various the pipelines is used for the certain things. There are some dry ducts, there are some wet ducts they call it. Wet ducts are used for the movement of water supply and sewage. Dry ducts are used for the lines, cable lines, PVC, your telecommunication lines and all. So there are certain guidelines, rules, and standard available, which has been available in all these National Urban Transport Guideline, UDPF guidelines, and Code of Practice of Urban Transport, where in today's scenario you require to have to implement all these guidelines to make the street smart. Now I will tell you the future, which is very, very important. Yeah, today you would have seen the sermatorium, which is very, very, you can see in an area, for a particular area, you will have only one single sermatorium. But when you look at the population, see it in today, it is around some, that is the people at the age of 30 to 50 is a major population in India. And what the 60 plus is also less, as well as the population, the young population is also very less. So what will happen in next 10 years? Next 10 years, the people who are above 60 will be having the major chunk of portion of India. So there will be some around some the 40% of people will be above 60. So in a area, it is not a single death. You will have some 10 people dying every day, right? Because of the age factor of the people, natural element, you get it. So our single sermatorium will not be sufficient. Otherwise, you have to wait it on queue during these pandemic situation itself. You would have addressed many cases that in many, almost in uh, many sermatorium, there was a long queue waiting for the deaths to sermatize. So here it is very important to make your sermatorium very modern, make it more eco-friendly, make it more people usage. So you require to have these types of design module that has to be constructed, and all these entity also has to be made it as a digital. So who is going to be sermated, what what happened, how he has died, all those information has to be digitally given, because the death certificate will be given not in hand here. It will be directly from the sermatorium to the office, and from the municipal office the people can get it through the digital mode itself. So this is also a work for a civil engineer, in which you have to try to design multiple sermatorium model. So we would have not taught this. We would have been thinking in many types of buildings, but this is also one of the important building which is required for the future. So this is one of the funeral pyre and waiting hall required, which has been designed for area. So at the time you can have some 5 people at this place. So it has to be protected from air, it has to be protected from rain, sunlight, everything. At the same time, you require a large amount of heat, large amount of fire, and this place has to be, at the same time, it is a self-respect that has to be given to the individual. You require to keep that place more safe. At this, I do not know, in future there may, you now you can see there is only for a father and mother a single child. So once they get married to another single child, so in a family, the husband and wife will have 2 father and 2 mother, one for the husband and one for mother. So what happens, you are trying to, there will be very so few people, because the relationships is reduced. There will be very few people who will be coming to the sermatorium directly to give the last respect for their loved ones. So you require to give a smarter place for them in order to make a safe and safe journey for the last journey. So this is also very important structure, which you have to try to design it digitally. You have to book it. You have to book it on advance, which particular place you have to do it, and when you are trying to do it. So what is the time requirement you required? So all those things it has to be done in digitally. So for which a space requirement, and the utility requirement is also very important. And some of the riverfront development, you can see there are many rivers in India. So as a quick view, I will just show the photos alone regarding what they have done. So the rivers are no more considered as a rivers alone. They have also been as a place of recreation. So many parks have been created around the rivers. So you can see some of the riverfront element. So these are the action plan. You require the trapping of sewage outfall. You decentralize the water treatment plant, removal of encroachment along the river banks, cleaning the river, plantation has been done, and riverfront development has been done. So this is the picture which is Subhash Math Bridge, which has been previously, and after the proposed view, it will be looking like this. So these are the things. So when you look at the comprehensive development, if you want to say the four pillars of smart city, you have to make a comprehensive development in terms of physical, social, economical, and institutional. So in case of physical, you have to more energy, water, transport, connectivity, and waste management. You have to make it. And in case of social, it should be educational, healthcare, building homes, entertainment, and inclusive self-development has to be taken care. In case of economic, market growth, job creation, GDP contribution, livelihood activities has to be taken care. And institutional, your security, environment, ICT-based service, enforcement, and skill development has. So it is a comprehensive development. You do one work in one physical element, but it will help, it will give the advantage in social, economic, and institution. If you touch anything in institutional security, then it will once again, so it's all interlinked. And you, if at all, if you're trying to strengthen a particular pillar, it will also give the advantages to the other pillars. So what is smart in these smart cities? The real smartness is IoT and M2M, that is sensor communication, which required a standard, safe, secure, accountable, harmonized way to fulfill the dreams and aspiration of its citizen. So it is very
There seems to be a slight technical error. Please wait. Our guest will rejoin soon.
hello.
Participants, please wait.
Hello. So yeah. Okay. Okay. So I hope. I think the last slide you required to see it. Have you seen this? Which I was telling you required to go for IoT and IT as a basic requirement.
Ma'am, presentation is not visible.
Just a minute. Have you seen the slide regarding? Yeah, no smart city without ICT and IoT. Have you seen this? Have you heard the explanation regarding this?
No, ma'am, just the slide before.
This one? What is smart in the smart city?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So the real smartness in the smart city is in using IoT and sensor communication in standardized, safe, secure, accountable, and harmonized way. So to fulfill the dreams and aspiration of citizen. So it is very important that you you enhance your knowledge as a civil engineer. You please concentrate on the infrastructure additional with to the additional to the digital knowledge. So it is not purely water supply alone. You have to think smart meter also. So it is not purely the traffic alone. You have to think about the video surveillance also. It is not emergency response alone, the roads alone. You have to think about how to connect each roads. So GIS, integrating yourself with a geographical information system, getting all your network, and you should know how you have to use artificial intelligence, and all those things is very important. So you should also have some digital knowledge. So then if you are able to have a digital knowledge, what type of sensor, how you can use it, where. So for example, if you're constructing a house in today, the homes, there are people ask whether the security system is okay there. You require to fit a camera, you require to see where to fit a camera. So as a civil engineer, you should know what type of camera you can fit, what are the sensor required for a particular home. So if you are getting into any major infrastructures like water supply or sewage system or e-governance, whatever, then you have to think out how to make it digital. So it is you have to enhance your knowledge in terms of digital technology also. So thank you so much for a patient listening. I hope you would enjoy the lecture. If you have any questions, then I'll be happy to hear. Any feedback also? You can give.
Ma'am, we have one question, I think.
Yes.
In the same way for traffic management, carbon emission can be recorded through sensors or not?
Yeah, yes, definitely. See, in traffic management, the one thing which we have it in our college itself. We have sensor fitted to the our college is across the GST road, that is the main southern trunk road. It's a national highway, right? It's National Highway 45, which connects the Chennai to Trichy. So we are in the main highway line. So we are trying to record. We have a signal at near our college. We fitted the sensor for the various environmental sensors. So what happens now during some peak hours and our peak time? For example, now we are in Corona situation, and the entire we have a digital board display also there. So it will pick up the carbon dioxide level or carbon monoxide, which is emitted from the vehicle alone. And it will sense that, and it will say that the level of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide at that particular junction. And because of this corona situation, we get the feedback of every day that the level is under control. But in sometimes, no, when there was heavy traffic during the Pongal holidays or during some festival holidays, and all people try to move out of the city, then at that peak period, we noticed that there is a very huge rise in carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide. Yes, that you can predict and you can inform, immediately display it on the display board also.
Then, ma'am, a few of them are asking for PPT. They are saying that it was a very
Yeah, sure.
interesting and informative session. If you could kindly share that.
Sure, Surya. I will mail it to your mail ID which you have sent it to me. You can pass it today. And all these information I have taken it from our the Smart City Mission website. So you can also see at the Smart City Mission website where many more case studies are also available. I will send you, Surya.
Okay, ma'am. Is there any questions from the side of participants?
Madam, this is Professor Sathapan.
Yes, sir.
I like to see your first slide where you are just talking about the population.
Yeah, sure. Yes, sir.
Here I have a suggestion.
Mm.
You can add the population density. That will be more clearer for people to understand how many people are
Yes,
there
sir,
in
sure.
1 square kilometer. because this two values we know that it is much small, bigger, those kind of comparison we can do. But when you see the population density,
Sure,
it will
sir.
have more clear that
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you are saying is more thing. Okay.
Okay.
And
Yes,
your
Yeah.
your lecture was good. Um,
Thank you.
we have to say that this is not so easily possible, this smart cities, because it has to create some self awareness among the public, and they have to get involved in spite of the government enforcing it, or technology being enforced. They have
Yes,
to
sir.
be properly
Yes, sir.
understood.
Definitely.
Okay.
Public
So
participation is very, very important in case of
first,
smart city.
public awareness is created very important, so that they will get participating in that.
Yeah,
And
sure,
to a
sure.
certain
Yes,
extent,
sir.
we
I
can
think.
say this COVID has got helped us, because it has
Yeah.
started helping
Digital.
us to
Yes.
rethink about alternate way of living. So we
Yes, yes.
just went for this kind of discussion on the website.
Yes, sir.
So slowly we have started understanding about the technology, and slowly coming into the technology. So
Yes.
this may take another 10 to 15 years to for that, but we are slowly towards the path of going
No,
into
sir.
that.
I think I don't think that it will require 15 years because the corona just 1 year everybody has changed into digital education and digital medicine. So it's only the platform we have to create, and already we are in the platform. The only thing is it has to be incubated with the infrastructure. So there is a network connection between the infrastructure is required.
Because only when you start using the technology, we find the difficulties in it.
Yes,
So
sir.
when you start taking out or satisfying those difficulties, then it will take some time. Okay. So
Yes,
it
sir.
was nice.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And
That's
madam,
very.
do you remember me?
Yes, sir. Satapan sir. How can we have both
Okay.
made a book, right?
Okay,
Together,
okay,
architecture.
okay.
Yes.
Architecture, yes,
Yes.
yes,
How
madam.
are you, sir? How are you?
I'm here. I am in Kerala. I am fine as a professor in
Okay.
civil engineering.
Okay. Okay. So I was looking
Yeah.
at your name and I immediately remembered you.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay,
madam.
sir.
You are fine with your family.
Yes, sir. Fine, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, we have another question.
Yes.
Approximately, what will be the cost of a small sensors? Such
Small
sensors.
sensors, it differs. When we were doing for a waste, for example, last year I told no, one of my MTech student was using the smart solid waste management. For a particular bin alone, she used to get the sensor for some 52 rupees. It starts from 52. It all depends. We have to see. Till now, no, people in IT, they are working separately. The people in computer science, they are working separately. People in civil engineering, they are working separately. Only when we sit together and we give our application and they try to provide their element, then once again, see, when mobile was coming to India, I know the cost price was very, very high. And people were thinking only rich people can buy that, right? But today you think of mobile, everybody is having, right? Even people who are just in villages, if you see the people who are just making their cows grassing, they use the cell phone because the cost is reduced. So the cost is not a factor when you think it as a whole of smart. When you become smart, the application, because it is integrated, right? You once you use the smart technology, it will boost your economy in the other way. So the today as such, yes, the sensor rate is high, but when you are trying to use it, definitely it will be very, very less. How your mobile phone has been using today, that type your entire sensor the amount is also will get reduced. Yes, Surya, is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. So I think we are done with the questions. Do we have any more questions from the side of audience? Thank you, ma'am, for we had a wonderful time with you. Now I officially hand it over to our student coordinator, Rosemaria, to give a thank you speech. Rosemaria?
Okay, Miss. It looked like we have covered all our questions, and now let me wind up the session and extend my heartfelt gratitude to you all. First of all, I extend my most sincere gratitude to the Almighty for making today's event a resounding success. I extend really hearty thanks to K. Yogeshwari, who spared time from her busiest schedule to grace this webinar with her presentation on smart cities. It was indeed a very useful and enlightening session, and I hope everyone was able to meet their expectation about this webinar. I would also like to thank the management of Jyoti Engineering College for giving us an opportunity to conduct this event. I am immensely thankful to Civil Engineering Department and Indian Society for Technical Education for organizing this webinar for us. A special thanks to Ms. Surya M. Nair, Assistant Professor of Civil Engineering Department, for coordinating this session to make it a success. I extend my gratitude to all the participants for their enormous cooperation and active participation in this event. Finally, yet importantly, I thank all the people who work behind the scene to make this event happen. Once again, thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Surya. Can I leave?
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we are winding up this session.